Hello, students. Good evening. Let us discuss one of the most important topics, phonology. Phonology is a branch of linguistics that studies the systematic organization of a speech sound. So, here we have to focus on that's a systematic organization of speech sounds in a language, right? Focusing on focusing on how these sounds are patterned, interact, and change to create meaning. What is phonology? Phonology is the systematic, that's the study of systematic organization of speech sounds. So, you know that phone, phonology comes from phone. That's a phone. Phone is sound, right? So that is why it is the studies of sound actually. Studies of systematic organization of speech sound. So it's the study of sound, right? Sound, what organization of speech sound? It must be systematic, right? I'm repeating. First, we have to understand this thing that what is phonology? Phonology is the studies, right? That's a branch of linguistics, and that's a study of speech sound in a language. But what speech sound? That's systematic organization of speech sound in a language, focusing on how these sounds are patterned. So we focus in phonology, we will find that how sounds make pattern. That's a different kinds of pattern. How sounds interact with each other and change to create meaning, and what change occurs which is more meaningful. So that is phonology. it distinguished it distinguishes itself from phonetics. Phonetics is different, which phonetics examines speech sound, that examines speech sound in isolation, means by looking the sound patterns within a specific language invisible system of sound organization, right? In other words, we can say that phonetics examines speech sounds in isolation, means suppose this is e schwa, right? This is b sound, right? So that studies about p b d, right? Okay. Now, phonology identifies phonemes. Phonology identifies phonemes, the basic meaning distinguishing sound units of a language. And that is meaning distinguishing sound. Means the best example is this one, right? So phonology identifies phonemes. These all are phonemes. The basic meaning distinguishing sound, because this is different from this one, meaning distinguishing sounds units of a language, and phonological rules that govern how sounds are produced, how p is produced, right? When we see the organs of speech, right? So how that's a p sound, right, produce, and then this part swells when we say p. So this part is swells, right? And when we say q, so this part, this oral part, q, so then this oral part is this oral part is Q. So that's this lips are spread. Q, right? Not like this. This is Q, like this, right? When we say B, P, P and B. So that, oh sorry, in the case of B, then it should be, if we say B, so what's the position in B? That is B. This one is, this lip is outside and B, right? And D. Then D sound produced inside the mouth. D. So that's a tongue. D. That tongue goes here. D. And that's a this way. Tongue goes here. Then D is produced. So that's the study. Phonology identifies phonemes, the basic meaning distinguishing sound unit. Phoneme is meaning distinguishing sound unit of a language. Meaning distinguishing, this is the meaning, distinguish sound. Okay, and the phonological rules that govern how sounds are produced, right? Phonological rules tells how sounds are produced and interact in different contexts, right? So phonological rules tells that, so uh, for example, if you say different context, right? So same, for example, if you say that uh, meaning of a meaning of the text, मान लो, suppose meaning of the text you speak meaning of the text, right? So here off sound, because of continuously you are speaking off separately, and when you are speaking off in a sentence, so both off sound will be different. Off separate and meaning of the text, so that's a off becomes ov of. this is the study of this is the study is called phonology. So what are the key aspects of phonology? Naturally, first thing is phone is sound, so that is sound system. What is sound system? That is, every language has its own distinct phonological system. Every language, including a set of possible sounds or phonemes and rules for how they can be combined. Every language has its own alphabets, own grammar, own different sounds, right? Which are smallest set of possible sounds are called phonemes. Phonemes is alphabets, and rules are grammar, right? That is grammar for how they can be combined, right? How they can be combined, how are articulators, active or passive articulators, permit us to combine. This is the whole study of sound system, right? Now, phonemes, these are perpetually distinct sound that can differentiate the meaning of word. Many examples you can give. This is differentiate, this is different, right? This is different, and this is different. Each sound is different. If you notice, that's a, this is B, this is D, this is Q, and this is P, right? So for example, the difference between cat, bat, relies on phonemes K and B, right? Just first phoneme change and meaning change. So that is called phonemes. Now, what is phonological rules? So, phonology investigates the rules that explains how sounds change based on their environment within a word, syllable, or sentence. What phonological rules means? Phonology explains the rules that explain how sounds change based on their environment within a word, right? Suppose is step, and suppose Paul. So this P, the position of this P is different from this P. Stop. Please speak. Stop. So then your lower lip goes and fix to near upper lip. Stop. Right? And in case of Paul, so then there is puff in your front part of mouth. So this is called, this explain how sounds change based on their environment within a word. In this word P sound is different, in this word P sound is this different. Even it studies syllable, right, or sentence. Means in a word or in a syllable or in a sentence how the same phoneme sound, phonemic sound changes. This is phonological rules. So we'll see detail afterwards. Now next aspect is that's the underlying versus surface forms. Phonologists often consider the underlying representation of a sound versus its actual surface form, the way it is produced in a specific context. So what is underlying forms or surface forms? Phonologists often consider that the underlying representation of a sound, right, underlying representation of a sound and actual surface form, the way it is produced in a specific context. I gave you example. Another example we can say pin, right, and spin, or another because we have already taken. Then uh, suppose sit and stick, right? So here both this sir and this is stick, both sir is different. So that is underlying representation of sound and actual surface form. Both are different. So actual surface form, the way it is produced in a specific context. How that's in a specific case, specific sentence, how sound, same phoneme sound is changed. That is next this surface form or underlying forms, right? When we do detailed study, then you will be able to understand. Now next is language specific. Phonology is language specific. The study of phonology requires analyzing the particular pattern of a single language. So that is language specific because that studies single language, pattern of single language. For example, if we say that ram, am, khata, Hey, the English version is that's a Ram eats a mango, right? So here what we'll see that Ram eats a mango. Okay, subject is fine. That's a Ram. But eats, here eats comes after mango or object. So pattern of both the sound are different. Subject, then here I'm writing it again. Wait a minute. And that's a subject. Okay, that's a subject. Then this is object. So here object is here, here object is, and here then verb, and here verb. So here in both the cases, please note down that's a Hindi subject plus object plus verb, and in English sentence subject plus verb plus object. This is the difference, right? So this is language specific because every language has its own pattern, right? Analyzing the particular pattern, so that phonology analyzes the particular pattern of a single language, right? Okay, then applications. Understanding phonology is crucial for fields like speech recognition technology, right? Underlying understanding phonology is crucial for fields like speech recognition technology. Many softwares have been introduced, right? That's a when I speak, so then you use in WhatsApp and all, so that's a words change. So that is a speech recognition, right? When we type, verbal typing, so when we speak something that it is typed, that's speech recognition technology. For this phonology is very useful. We have to understand where systems need to process language like humans do. Means when we write something and when our system writes after listening, so that suppose I do WhatsApp and I'm sending you uh, a message, so then instead of typing I would speak, and my phone will, like that software, receive the sound and then type it accordingly. So that is just like human, right? So it also, that machine is very important. That's a recognition, that is a speech recognition technology, right? So which is very important, and phonology is very important, that if you are speaking properly, then only that recording, that words will be uh, converted, your sound will be converted into words properly, right? So it also plays a role in treating speech pathologies, right? And understanding language acquisition. So speech pathology means how speech is very clear. That is why typing must be when what you speak, your phone will receive like human brain receives, and then it will type. So that is very important. Okay, so these are the different key aspects of phonology, like sound system, right? Like phonemes, phonological rules, underlying versus surface forms, right? Then language specific applications. Now, phonology versus phonetics. Phonetics, the study of speech sound in isolation, right? That's speech of sounds in isolation, focusing on their physical characteristics, how they are articulated. Means I gave you example, right? How these lips in case of B, so these lips are joined. In case of F, so this upper lip goes to lower lip, and lower lip goes inside. So this is the study of phonetics. Okay, But phonology, the study of how sounds are organized, right? How sounds are organized, how sounds are patterned, how sounds are used to create meaning, right, within a specific language, right? So that's a sounds, organization of sounds, right? Suppose strike, strike. So that's a organization of different phonemes, okay? One, two, three, right? These all are consonant. So that's a combination. And what's the pattern? Suppose how these patterns are made and used to create meaning. And that is where suppose there is one word is uh, that vowel suppose is changed and it is or, so that's a sound will be different. There is no meaning of this word, so that's a within a specific language. That's a uh, I gave today only, I gave example in the class. That's a in Punjabi we generally generally means that's in English that's a speech, right? But Punjabi says speech. So that is the difference. I write on here. That's a speech, right? Speech and speech. Punjabis say speech, right? So this is the difference. The spelling is same. They say speech, they say speech, right? So that is phonology builds, right, on phonetics to understand systematic aspects of sound within linguistic system, right? So that why, because what in a specific language that's a used to create meaning. So when they won't understand speech properly, when one Punjabi listens to speech, so he or she would understand. This is the study of phonology, right? So, this is a little introduction of phonology and its aspects, and we are going to discuss more about it in the next video. Thank you so much. Good night.